There's a sweet smell in my car. The windshield is fogging up from the inside, and there's a puddle on the floor on the passenger side. These are all concerns that motorists describe when a heater core is leaking. However, heater cores fail in more ways than these. They can get plugged up due to debris in the cooling system, and when the heater core is plugged up, it will no longer allow the engine coolant to flow through it, and the customer will have concerns that the inside of their car isn't getting warm enough.
A heater core is a heat exchanger, much like a radiator, but it's located in the dash of the vehicle and used to provide heat to the cabin of the vehicle. Hot coolant from the vehicle's engine flows through the passages of the core, while the fins attached to these core tubes serve to transfer heat to the air that is forced past them by the blower motor. This process provides heat throughout the vehicle. When it comes time for your customers to replace a heater core, start by recommending a high-quality heater core and offer these tips for what it takes to do the job right. Our heater cores are designed and manufactured to meet or exceed OE fit, form, and function. But beyond that, they utilize heavy-duty construction for long-lasting durability. They're nitrogen leak tested for proven quality and performance, and they are treated to prevent corrosion and pitting. All of these features are incorporated to ensure that our customers are purchasing a unit that will operate properly for a long time.
One easy tip to remember are the hose clamps. Over time, the clamps can and will lose their tension, and the reduced clamping pressure may result in leaks. While the heater hoses are off the vehicle, it's a great time to go ahead and replace these clamps and ensure a leak-proof job. Next, we need to make sure that we're using the proper coolant for the vehicle. Now, there are many varieties and specifications of coolant, so we'll want to make sure we follow the manufacturer's recommendation on which coolant to use for our specific vehicle. It's also recommended that if we're going to be diluting a full concentrate to a 50-50 mix, we're going to want to use distilled water because it has significantly less minerals and contaminants than regular tap water. It's also important to make sure that we have a thoroughly cleaned cooling system. Now, if the system was initially plugged, it's always going to be recommended that we flush the system several times prior to installing any new heater core. One other thing that we need to be aware of is the amount of labor involved with replacing a heater core. Most are buried deep in the dash, and the entire HVAC box is going to have to be removed. Now, in order to do this, the AC system has to have the refrigerant removed. And due to the amount of labor involved with this job and its close proximity to the evaporator core, many people will choose to replace the evaporator core at the same time as the heater core. Here we see a Ford Fusion that was initially scheduled at a shop to have the heater core replaced, but upon further inspection, they recognized a leak in the evaporator core also. Rather than tear it apart later, the customer made the right call and replaced both cores at the same time. And one final tip is that many air door actuators are deep in the dash and can be easily accessed at the same time as the heater core. In some cases, it's best practice to replace these while the dash is out also. And with that, hopefully you've gained some insight and some tips that you can take away and use the next time you're doing a heater core replacement. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.